Greetings, y'all. I wanted to share some things with you. And that being, why speak upon Christ and His glory that shines down upon us so much? Well, let me tell you a little bit of something. See, I get it. You know, we're caught up out here in the pursuit of many things. We like otherworldly things. We want power. We all ultimately do. And we also want love. Love and power. And we know religion hasn't really offered any of that. So perchance we turn to many vistas. And they can be beautiful vistas. I've taken flight far beyond this body where everything just completely disintegrates and traveled throughout the vastness of all things created and sat with many beings, both under the earth and above the earth. And I've listened to their teachings of wisdom and knowledge and impartations and received. Likewise, did I get to experience the death of this form and the birth of a radiant star, and just how you can so project. And likewise of the fallen, had I experienced that process as well, to the re-entering and reemergence of this body. And I get to the big thing with the winged beings. There'd be this glowing, ever-burning, luminescent sun above my head, which I could fly up through and sprout and have 6-digit 360 perceptual awareness. I could fly off and see things way far beyond me. And the realm of insta-thought manifestation did appear, or whatever I would dwell upon would occur. But regardless of all the fanciness of that, that's exactly how reality works. So with that being said, and me just sharing a few little brief snippets, well, we could be anything. Then why listen to these other deceptive notions out here? Under the belief in the guise that we must do, when there's already been a greater something done and finished on behalf of us all. To change the world, we say. A lovely and lofty notion, an ideal. And I do believe in change. But don't we know that the road to hell is paved with good intentions? So how do we truly get this clean internal slate? That's to me where Christ steps in. That my price was paid in His blood. The forgiveness of sins. But grace loves and accepts and embraces you for who you are. And within that spirit, we will rise and far beyond and supersede all these things, because it's already all been defeated and finished. Ain't nothing else we have to do. You didn't have to earn it. You didn't have to deserve it. It's a free gift of everlasting life. So I've received that. And let me tell you something. Once that's there, ain't nothing of this world could touch you. Even of all the grand and the glorious beings. Because it says that Christ is seated at the right hand of the Father. And as he is, so are we. So he has absolute power and authority over all things seen and unseen. And over life and death itself. Well, as he is, so are we. Therefore, why bow down and acquiescence, or why bow down and acquiesce in servitude to these glorious beings that we so dream up or believe, whether of this world or not? They're just nothing but a bunch of grand deceivers playing upon your hopes, your desires, your fantasies. Oh yes, they will promise you anything. And look at all these lofty stories out here within this realm of New Age movement. Even if you label it as old age, well, guess what? It's just like Moses. Because guess what? Back in the Egyptian days, didn't the magicians, aka sorcerers of that time, cast their staves down that turned into snakes? But Moses, operating from a greater spirit of God, cast his staff down that turned into a snake, and that one gobbled up the mother ones like it was nothing. So would you rather have the power of falsity, of lies and illusions that only can go so far, which is really ultimately nothing? Or would you rather have the power of the everlasting one who made and loves us all? Because that's where it truly resides. But he resides in love for us. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever should believe in him wouldn't perish but have everlasting life. We all know that verse, but it's true. It's true. So that's why I laugh at so much of this modern day magic movement. That, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the people. I love being around them. I love hanging out at metaphysical shops. I love being around witches. I love being around pagans. I just love these people. They're awesome people. They're cool. They're my friends. They're my family. We're all part of this family of humanity. I have nothing against anybody and their practices, because I practice too. I just practice from a different spirit is all. I practice from the spirit of grace, because I believe grace to be far greater. But what I do laugh at is when you realize that God put all things here for us to be utilized for our own good. It's like you don't have to abide by some dogmatic ritualism. You don't have to ascribe to the fears and notions that other people have labeled things with. You know? Like in a lot of occultic practices, there can be, you know, the darker side of what... There's a huge infatuation with blood and life force, and it's like, wait a second. You don't need to shed your own blood or that of another's or that of another living being, even if it's non-human. Why? There's already been that blood shed on our behalf. Christ, and it's by his blood that we've already been gifted. It's the everlasting, undying blood. So why all this big infatuation with blood and life force then? Well, it's no more than a deceiver trying to steal, kill, destroy. That's what the darkness is all about. Destruction. But see, Christ is of a different spirit, of giving, flowing, endlessly abounding life, love, happiness, joy, all good things. That's what the Spirit's all about. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to receive the goodness? It's what we all truly long for, so why run from it? It makes no sense. I tried running for a long time, but even in my darkest moments, at the end of myself, I couldn't run any further, and there the love enveloped me. And it's like, why have I been running from this for so long? And when you have that love inside, then you love others. It doesn't matter where they're at. So that's why I say I don't care how somebody labels themselves or views themselves. You know, I welcome and receive everybody because I've walked in their shoes as well, at least in my own shoes. I've walked in so many shoes, it's ridiculous if I was to expound upon it all. But really, it's all nothing compared to the one who made us all, who walked in the shoes that bore that weight and pain for us all. So yeah, I could say that God allowed me to go through all these things and loved me through it all regardless. And I'm still exploring. Oh yes. Because any powers that could be offered, isn't it even greater in God? Yes, it is. So now in this space of grace, how fun it is to explore it all and traverse within and without. So now, going throughout the cosmos, going through all these different planes, or even just sharing space with another, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because it isn't the darkness that influences the light. It's the light that shines into the darkness. But we all have that light within because it's a gift of life that God has placed inside each and every one of us. And He loves us all. He loves us all. And there's nothing we can do to run or hide from that love. It's going to swallow and envelop us all. But you're going to wonder why you ever ran in the first place, just as I. It's nothing to do with religion. It's the spirit. The spirit of love. And we're refreshed and renewed in each moment that so greets us. Ever thankful and grateful. And I appreciate and cherish all of you. I love you all, just as you are. Absolute acceptance. No rejection. All are welcome. And always will be. Even if you choose not to label things the same, we can still come together on the notion of love and the spirit of love. Blessings, strength, and honor. But most of all, love. Peace out. Toodles. Catch you on the flip side.